Good morning, everybody. My name is the Goofber Mike at Filmboy24. It's time for Found Film roll number 40. And it's cameraman Mike, and it's sound. What is found film, you say? Well, found film, to me anyway, is when you have an old roll of film that was lost, like this one. It wasn't really lost, but it was probably destined to never be processed or recovered until I grabbed a hold of it. This comes from a batch of film that I got last year from an eBay seller. It may have been earlier this year. I don't remember. You know how I am. But it was an eBay seller. His eBay handle or screen name is Cameraman Mike. He gave me a really good deal on 56 total rolls. I know I've said 54 in the past, but I bought 2 prior to this from him. He gave me a good deal on it, a really good deal. And it's 90% of it is all sound film. All of it was previously exposed. It all comes from the same, well, at least we think, from the same family. They're all somewhere, I believe they were in Arcadia, California area. This came from, I believe, Pennsylvania, where he actually got this film. I think that's where it was. I should be better prepared. But it did come, the lot did come from California, I believe, because that's where we've narrowed down the locale. We've done quite a few of these. I don't know offhand, 12, 13 of them. I have all of them in their own little playlist, and it's called the Cameraman Mike Sound Film Box Set. I'll put a link to it up there somewhere where you can catch up if you want. Like I say, I think this is number 12, 13, 14, somewhere in the early teen range. This is Kodak's Ektachrome 160 sound film. It's the blue rectangle, which means it's a little bit older. The cart is smooth. They eventually added some texture to the carts. This is a little bit older one. Specifically, it's not marked on the top, but it is on the actual film. It has an edge code right on the side of the film. When you get it developed, or when you develop it, you can kind of use your little loop or your magnifier and find an edge code. Now, according to Kodak's very own website, and by the way, I met the guy on email. I've been emailing back and forth with him. One of the guys that was responsible for putting this particular thing together. I got to put that down because it's rattling, really. I've been communicating with the Kodak rep for quite some time, and he was responsible for sort of spearheading this chart you'll see in 1 second. So, thank you, sir. This one has an edge code of a circle. And a circle, according to that chart, means that this roll of film was manufactured in 1976. Old, really old. One of the earlier Cameraman Mike sound films that we have. I'm not gonna tell you what's on it yet, but you'll probably say, "Oh, more of that." Did I just give it away? So if you follow the channel, you're going to understand what I mean as soon as you watch it. Now, before I get into showing you that film, what is all of this mess on my desk? The mess on my desk is more found film. I just wanted to give you a very quick sort of sneak peek into what I'm working on. This stuff right here, these 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 rolls up here, probably won't come out. And I'm going to tell you why. Because all of it is Kodachrome, and all of it is old Kodachrome. Now, if you've followed me and or my channel for any length of time, you know that I don't like processing Kodachrome for the most part. Newer Kodachrome isn't so bad, you know, 90s and beyond, expired in the 90s and beyond. Typically, you can get pretty good images out of it. I just had a guy send me a bunch of stuff, including some Kodachrome. Some of what was kind of half found film and half his film, and we worked out a great deal. He's a subscriber and he's a great guy. But anyway, he had some Kodachrome, and it didn't come out really too terrible. The part that's found film I'll probably show you with a group of other found films eventually. But if I can get any of these to come out, well, you'll see those too. And even if I get parts of them to come out, we're going to group, you know, 3 or 4 rolls together to make a full episode. But just to show you what I mean, I got these from sort of like different sources. Like this one, for example, I got last year. I don't remember when, but I got this one last year. It was sent to me from a lady in the UK. I'm in the States, in Florida, by the way. So that was a little trip. This one here, I don't know. I have it marked inside. That one and this one came together. These three came in one lot. And let me show you what I do typically. And what I mean by we may probably not get results, I mean because I did some testing on some of this already. I pull the film out of the cartridge. These are the magazines, by the way. Let me show you. These are the 16mm magazines. These things here. Rattles around because that's the parts. I've already opened it and pulled the film. These hold 50 feet of double perf 16mm film. Most of what you'll see or find when you come across these will be the Kodachrome, old Kodachrome mags. These, although they could be sealed inside the boxes, they could be sealed, tape sealed by Kodak. The magazines, when you open them up, are not going to look brand new most of the time. They're going to have scratches and whatnot on them. Because what Kodak did back in the day is they sold this to a customer. The customer would pop it into their camera like this one, by the way, sent to me by my buddy that I was just telling you about, that sent me the film. They would put it in a camera like this. They would shoot their film. They would pull the cartridge out, send it to Kodak. Kodak would develop the film, send them their reel of film to use in their movie projector. Kodak would keep this cartridge, refurb it, fill it with film, and sell it again. Nice little racket. Kind of like Super 8, only Super 8 cartridges are not really reusable. I know I've seen a couple people that have taken them apart and whatnot. There are reusable Super 8 carts. This was an easy way for Kodak to sort of manage their workflow. It was easy. They get them back, they process the film, they reload it, and they sell it again. Nice going, Kodak. Anyway, that holds 50 feet of film. Most of the time it was shot at 16 frames per second. So you do the math. I don't want to. It would run for about, I don't know, in the 2-minute range. Anyway, so what I do is I actually pull it from the cart. I snip one little section and set it on my counter. I pull a little bit more, maybe, well, you can see about that much, about 6 inches more. You settle down. And I put that inside a black bag with the remaining exposed roll of film. I put it inside one of these black bags, very similar to the ones you would get when you order new Kodak film. I roll that up, I put it inside another black bag, and so this is double bagged. Then I proceed to test the strip of film. Now the first strip that I cut and set out, I use that just to kind of see the film, you know, just it's the end and it's probably got no images on it anyway. So I just look at it, I rub it, make sure it's Kodachrome, because if it's Kodachrome, the underwater, the rem jet will come off. It'll leave you a little black goo on your thumb. So then I do some strip tests. I don't always do it. A lot of times I'll pull 8 or 10 cartridges of film and then I'll strip test them when I get time. That's what I did here. That's why you see these strips of film kind of tied in with the cartridges. I'll even pull the little tape seal that goes around. Kodak would put a seal around the edge of the magazine here to kind of keep the light out. It also had a marking on it to let people know what kind of film was in that cartridge. So you can't really go by what's like written on the front of the cart. A lot of them say property of the government. A lot of them say property of Kodak. Well, these are property of Filmboy24. They don't say that, so you can't go by that. Okay? So that's why I do a little strip here and I run it underwater and see what it is. And Kodachrome's easy to tell. It's got that gray backing, kind of like black and white film does. It's not brown really. Anyway, I know I've rambled on about that. This is where I'm at. I got these 9 rolls. This one here is a single 8. This was in a camera when I bought the camera last year. I've run tests on this. I've shot some single 8. I had planned on doing some videos on some single 8. I have some film, some black and white film. Just can't get it to come out. So that's still in the works. That's experimental. I did run a test on this and it also didn't come out. It's a Fuji Color RT50 cartridge and it's process K12. So I know it's very similar to the old KA2 Kodachrome film. Not holding out a whole lot of hope for that. Okay, enough about this. let me talk to you. Oh, by the way, this is, I left this out because I wanted to show you. This is a camera that that subscriber sent me. Drew, I'll say his name, Drew. He sent this to me, and we worked out a deal. I processed some film for him, and he sent me a couple of really cool items. This was one of them, and look for this coming soon, relatively soon. It's a real cool little Keystone. It's a model K55, the Mayfair edition magazine camera, and I love these little magazine cameras. Let me open it up here. You know, it takes these magazines, these 16mm magazines. It's a wind-up camera. It's in really, really good condition, and Drew and I talked about this. I got plenty of lenses for it. Beautiful condition, and that's what he used to shoot a little bit of the film that he sent me. Anyway, if you have any of this old film, I do process film for people regularly. I like to do this really old stuff. Kodachrome, not so much. Don't expect great results out of it. I do charge to process film, a lot less than what a lot of people charge for this old stuff. If it's found film and you didn't shoot it and you found it in an old camera, contact me, whether it's Super 8 film or this 16mm cartridge film. Contact me, and I usually will just take it in and process it for free if I can show it on my channel. Enough about that. Let's move on. Cameraman Mike, here we are. So I process this in my normal process for this Ektachrome 160 stuff, and that is HC110B formula. That's a Kodak developer. And I use the B formula, which is 31 parts water to 1 part HC110B. I don't know why I pointed at this. That's not a developer. That's a cartridge. I did it for 7 minutes at about 67 degrees. I start with 67 degrees Fahrenheit because it warms a little bit, probably up to about 68 when I'm done. So I start with around 67, do that for 7 minutes, then I fix it, and then wash it off and I'm done. I do have to take the rim jet off. I want to mention also I watched another video from a very well-known sort of film, well, medium well-known film guy, and I really love his channel. But I will say he mentioned something about remjet removal bath. Now it works for him and good. Whatever works for you, that's what you use, always. He uses 1 tablespoon of baking soda for 1,000 milliliters of water. That doesn't work for me, I can tell you that right now. I tried it and I ended up with just really hard, nasty remjet. Now I will say, my formula being 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 4 tablespoons, 6 because I usually go 1.5, but 4 tablespoons of washing soda or sodium carbonate for 100 milliliters of water and mix it in really good. Mix it for, 5 or 10 minutes, get it really dissolved. That works for me. The baking soda alone didn't work for me, but it may work for newer films. Now I process a lot of this old stuff where the rimjet's really just baked on for 30 or 40 or 50 years. So maybe that's what he means. Modern stuff like the Vision stocks or something like that probably work great. Anyway, so you know my process behind this. Let me show you a very quick montage of exactly how I do it. If you don't want to watch it, just tap through it. That's fine. Here it is. Now that you've seen how I do it, let's show you what we got. This is Cameraman Mike's sound film box set, cartridge number 40, right now.
Put the water and pull. Come on now, pull. Pull. Pull.
You gotta see for the railing.
Pull.
That's what they can't wait to get that railing.
Joe,
Straight.
do it.
Now, Joey, come on over here. Quick. Reach around. Reach. Now head back. Now keep your head back and get your arms around. Come on, now reach them around. Let's go. Now reach. Reach. Come on, keep reaching. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Keep your head back and reach. Here we go. Now reach. 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 You keep your head back. Get your arms out. Facing. All right. Okay, go ahead, Joey.
By himself? Mother.
Okay, Francie, you go over on the little board. Go ahead, off the little board. Just jump straight off into the wall one time. You want to do it again? Go ahead.
Very good.
That girl, good honey. You're all done. Bye-bye.
Very good, Joey.
Okay, Joey, that's all for today. Wait a minute, honey. I'm not quite ready for you.
Come on,
Sit
Joe.
there. You can sit there.
Come on, Joe.
Where's your toe?
There it is, kids. That's little Joey in the pool again. I think this is the world's smallest movie camera. Little Joey in the pool again. Now, I think we've seen Joey in swimming lessons in Arcadia probably 4 times now, maybe 5. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe that's the end of it and we get something a little more compelling. We did get to see him go to school. I'm pretty sure that's Joey. The sound came out pretty clear. I'm happy with that overall. Guys, these are little just memories in time. I feel like this is a time capsule or a lost memory that really has to be regained. There's so many times that I cringe. I try not to think about it, that somebody will buy a Super 8 camera and they just don't care what's inside. They throw it away. Oh, never going to use this old film. They throw, and that memory, that piece of time will never be seen again. I mean, it's cool enough that we are the only ones that have ever seen this particular roll of film. Even the family hasn't seen it. At least I don't think so. So that's cool enough on its own. But to think that it would end up, well, in the landfill, that's pretty sad. So if you do come across one, let me know. If it's half shot, well, you're really not going to know if it's half exposed, because if it doesn't say exposed on the film, well, there's really no way for you to know. So unless you put it in your camera and shoot it, and if it's about 40 feet found film, I'll do it and I can put it on my channel and we'll watch it together and I won't charge anything. Any less than that, then it's really not in my wheelhouse. But get with me. I can still help you get it developed. Really. So I hope you enjoyed this little blast from the past, this little step into the past. Is that right? Step forward into the past. If you did, do me a favor. I am such a nut. Yeah, right there. Just hit the like button for me. It's free. It's a freebie. We don't get a lot of those anymore. It's a freebie. And if you would consider subscribing. I'm so thankful for everybody that has subscribed so far. This channel started out just over 2 years ago as a fun little, just an exciting little venture for me to sort of put out what I really enjoy doing, and that's working with analog media, specifically movie film. I've done a couple videos with still film, thinking about doing a few more because I do shoot a lot of still pictures. I just really love movie film. And if you love movie film, then I want you to stay tuned because I got a lot more coming. These videos take a long time, so it's been, about once a week that I've been getting them out. So bear with me. They're coming. And until the very, very next time, wow, that was loud. Very next time that I see or hear or kind of envision all of your beautiful faces, I know you're out there. That's the one. I'll see all of you on the very next go-around.